The recent attacks claimed by Yemen's Houthis have grabbed global attention, marking a big moment in the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. In a series of military operations, Houthi forces, also known as Ansar Allah, carried out a joint attack against the American aircraft carrier USS Harry Truman using cruise missiles and drones in the north of the Red Sea. This event is not just a bold move in the context of Yemeni resistance, but also a direct challenge to Western powers operating in the region. The attack on the USS Harry Truman. According to statements from Yahya Sharif, spokesperson for the Yemeni armed forces, the attack was a response to American maneuvers that seemed like they were about to attack Yemen. The operation involved the coordinated use of 2 cruise missiles and 4 drones, which successfully disrupted American plans, according to Houthi sources. Despite the difficulties in verifying the exact impact due to information control by American forces, the attack has been celebrated as a symbolic victory by the Houthis and their supporters. In addition to the attack on the aircraft carrier, the Houthis carried out several offensives against Israeli targets in Jaffa and Ascalon, highlighting their ability to expand their operations beyond Yemeni territory. These actions are part of a broader strategy to respond to the perceived aggression against the resistance in Gaza and to lift the Israeli siege on the Strip. Geopolitical implications. The conflict in Yemen, which began as a civil war, has become a battleground for international players. The United States, an ally of Saudi Arabia, has maintained a strategic presence in the region, while the Houthis, indirectly backed by Iran, have resisted with limited resources but remarkable determination. The recent attacks highlight not only the resilience of Houthi forces, but also their ability to carry out large-scale operations. In this context, the Houthis not only face the United States and Israel, but also a spy network led by British MI6 and Saudi intelligence. According to Yemeni security services, this network aimed to locate strategic military installations in Yemen and track the movements of Ansar Allah leaders. The arrest of the spies has been presented as another victory in the defense of Yemeni sovereignty. International reactions. While the Houthis have been praised by their supporters as defenders of the resistance against foreign aggression, Western powers have condemned their actions as acts of terrorism. The tension between these narratives reflects the complexity of the conflict, where geopolitical interests and human rights are closely intertwined. On the other hand, the Houthi operation has set off alarm bells in Washington and Tel Aviv, highlighting the vulnerability of their assets in the region. These types of attacks raise questions about the effectiveness of their defense strategies and the need to review their military postures in the face of unconventional adversaries. The role of the Houthis in the current landscape. The Houthis' ability to carry out complex attacks, such as the one perpetrated against the USS Harry Truman, reflects a significant shift in their military strategy. Historically underestimated, they have proven capable of resisting and countering technologically more advanced forces. This development not only highlights the growing sophistication of their tactics, but also their willingness to influence regional dynamics beyond Yemen's borders. Despite their diplomatic isolation and international sanctions, the Houthis have received support in the form of weapons and training, allegedly from Iran. However, this support is not enough to fully explain their success. The dedication and ingenuity of their fighters also play a crucial role in their ability to confront powerful adversaries. Context and historical perspective. Yemen has long been a stage for foreign intervention due to its strategic location and resources. The intervention of Saudi Arabia and its allies in 2015 marked the beginning of a devastating war that has caused one of the worst humanitarian crises in the world. In this context, the Houthis have positioned themselves as a resistance force, gaining the support of sectors of the Yemeni population who see them as a defense against foreign interference. The recent attacks also come at a time of high tension in the Middle East, with parallel conflicts in Gaza, Syria, and Ukraine. These interactions further complicate the resolution of the conflict in Yemen, as any local solution must take into account the broader geopolitical landscape. Final reflection. The Houthi attack on the USS Harry Truman and the operations against Israeli targets represent a significant chapter in Yemen's struggle against foreign interference. Although these actions have heightened tensions, they have also highlighted the capabilities and determination of Ansar Allah. As the conflict continues, regional and international powers must consider solutions that address the root causes of the crisis, including the demands for sovereignty and self-determination of the Yemeni people. Ultimately, recent events underscore the need for a diplomatic approach that prioritizes peace and stability in the region, recognizing both the complexities of the conflict and the legitimate aspirations of all parties involved.
The possible solutions and strategies that the West could employ to face the challenges posed by the Houthi attacks. We will explore diplomatic, military, and economic alternatives, evaluating their viability and the consequences they could bring. We will also address the role of international organizations and collaboration among nations in the search for a peaceful and lasting resolution to this persistent conflict. In the diplomatic realm, the West could promote direct dialogue between the parties involved, fostering negotiations that include both the Houthis and the Yemeni government. Mediation by organizations such as the United Nations could be crucial in establishing a sustainable peace framework. From a military perspective, some voices advocate increasing support for Yemeni government forces. However, other experts warn of the risk of further escalation. It is crucial to assess the benefits and dangers of military intervention to avoid a wider conflict. On the economic front, sanctions have been a common tool, but their long-term effectiveness is questionable. Alternatively, the West could consider economic incentives to boost reconstruction and development in Yemen, seeking to mitigate the conditions that fuel the conflict. Finally, international cooperation is essential. A coordinated approach involving multiple nations and international organizations can provide a more robust and balanced response, addressing both immediate needs and the underlying causes of the conflict. In short, the combination of diplomatic, military, and economic efforts, along with effective international cooperation, could offer a path towards peace and stability in Yemen. However, each strategy must be carefully considered and adapted to the complexities of the situation to ensure a sustainable and just resolution for all parties involved.